We've all got it, folks. Credit card debt, car debt, student loan debt, up to our eyeballs debt. Our finances are just a friggin' mess. But we're going to talk about them with you. With the one man who has no financial problems. Join us.
So I'm Dan.
And I'm Nick, folks.
We're old friends dissecting one topic at a time. People, technology, media, we've got it all covered.
Each discussion here is a deep dive into our unique perspective. The taboo, forbidden subjects, they're all on the chopping block, baby. We don't pander to popular opinion. We might even get a little bit dirty.
Warning, this podcast may contain mature language and sexual content and is for infotainment purposes only.
So join us. Have a good time.
Open up your ear holes, because we're going to fondle your follicles. Another installment of This is Dan.
This is Nick.
And we are discussing a topic
Here.
that everyone is involved with.
Everyone.
Money, debt,
financial
future.
Finances. Oh, geez. Planning for your future.
Yeah.
That's what we're all doing here.
Do you want to go first, or should I go first about where we're at, where we were, how we came here, how we came to be?
I think like a parking lot in the Denny's. My mom and my dad, they had a big breakfast.
Grand slam.
There I am 9 months later. Boom.
2 eggs sunny side up. 1 big sausage.
And 1 big sun. Yeah.
Huh. So
no, I didn't know where you wanted to start. That's an interesting way to put it.
So starting out about maybe your career, financial outlook, how you chose it, and then your earnings-ish. If you want to cover your numbers?
Sure, I can. I will let everyone know my numbers.
Yeah.
Because I want to see if there's a financial planner out there who can figure this out for me.
Okay.
I kind of think there is. It's like the impossible problem.
Okay. College.
Well, like, that's impossible. How did you? That's not.
No.
Where's
this giant negative sign come from? There's another negative sign. There's more negative signs.
How did you have this many negatives? So, I just went to prestigious high school because they were going to give me money.
Okay. So your high school was balanced out. Scholarship? Mostly paid for?
Yeah, I was given lots of money. Yeah.
Okay. Good. I don't know that
SMRT.
I think I missed one. I think I was like 98th percentile. I needed to be like 99.
I was 99%. Yeah, you did. But you still got the AP. Still got your AP bio classes, didn't you?
Certainly did.
So, like, that's a school that prepares you for. It's a preparatory school, technically.
Prepping you for college and life.
College, yeah.
Maybe not so much life.
College, which is a step for life, I guess.
Yeah.
So, where did you choose your college from? Because we went to the same high school. Spoiler alert.
I don't know. I had like maybe 5 or 6, but they were just like randomly picked. It's not like I researched them all and then like down selected to the one I wanted. My mom she took the responsibility of like showing me around. So the one that I felt most comfortable at was RIT. I went there.
Was that the closest?
No. We looked at Penn State. We looked at Drexel, RPI, a lot of engineering schools.
Okay.
And the vibe you get from engineering schools is weird most of the time.
Yeah, I know Drexel. I know RIT. Penn State? Really?
Penn State? Well, Penn State was the default that most people went to. And
I guess because it was Penn State. Right, that makes sense.
I didn't want to do the default thing. That's kind of my style.
Look at this guy's style. Style points.
Mm-hmm. So my tuition was like 20 something grand, and I had like an $8,000 or $10,000 scholarship to go to RIT. So,
okay, nice.
Yeah, so I did decently well, and then somewhere in the middle, I started making money from internships, and I was okay. I was also subsidized by my parents a bit.
Right.
So
did you take it? Did you have to take out a loan through like the school or whatever?
I don't know what type of loan I had. There's like Stafford loans or FAFSA.
Right. But did you take out extra to cover like housing or meal plans or living expenses, or not really? It was just tuition.
It was, I don't remember how it broke down, but I didn't have to take out extra. It was like,
Okay.
ended up being like 15,000 a semester or something. Or
A year?
a year? Yeah, it's 8K a semester, so like 16,000 a year.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then at the end of it, my parents paid off a majority of it, so they left me with like 10 grand to pay off student loan debt. So I was at an advantage compared to most people, and I acknowledge it.
Sure. Hey, you can't feel bad about having like a head start in the race and being like, I'm gonna finish.
Woohoo, privilege! Woo!
Hey,
You can't. I don't know how many people just were like, "Oh God."
what a bastard.
Yeah.
And there's people who do have like often if you don't take advantage of it, you're an asshole too.
Mhm.
You imagine if you were given that and you were like,
No
nope,
thanks.
no, thank you. So I get it.
Yeah, and you?
I was given money to Penn State and LaSalle College.
Mm.
Not full rides, but like, partial.
Mhm.
And the only other school I applied to was University of Delaware, and it was the prettiest school.
And that's why you picked it.
It's the
Prettiest,
most
as in the
beautiful campus.
architecture, not
Everything.
the women.
Oh, dude, they have Trabant architect. The architecture was really cool. The campus was gorgeous. The women were beautiful.
Mhm.
Oh my God, flowing everywhere. Like between periods, you could see a mass of gorgeous, bona fide
Delawareans.
hot women. No, most of them are from like out of state and stuff. Actually, yeah, a lot of PA, a lot of Jersey, a lot of Delaware, a lot of slower, lower. But anyway, I picked Delaware.
Slower,
and that was
lower.
around.
Is
Yeah,
that from New
that's where-
Jersey?
No, well, once you hit Dover, you get into the South.
Oh, and it's like the south of Delaware.
Oh, it's the South. So if you go to South Delaware, you'd be like, "Are we in Louisiana?" Like you'll look around at the bait shop and like this, and everybody's talking funny, and you're like, "What is everyone doing?" And they're like, "We going mud dipping for skipping for fun," and you're like, "I don't know any of the words in that sentence. What are you guys actually doing?" Well, we get back into my friend's truck and we have some gasoline and we go in the mud. And I'm like, I don't know. That's a thing? And they're like, where are you from? And I'm like, just a little bit north. The north. But yeah, I know people like that. That we're only like half an hour drive from University of Delaware.
That's baffling.
Isn't
But
it?
okay.
But that's where the South starts. Trust me. It's in Delaware, around the midway mark. Mm-hmm.
Mason-Dixon.
It is. It's in Delaware. So I went there and I had to take out loans because my parents didn't have any money for me. Unprivileged. So I think it was like 15 grand a year. But I would take out like 20-ish.
Okay, to cover
Because I
other
needed-
expenses.
I had no way of paying for
Housing.
like my food plans, housing, money to buy stuff. And then when I lived off campus, it was even more. Well, I guess not more because I guess I figured room and board into the other ones. But anyway, all in all, I probably got close to $80,000-$90,000 in debt, I think.
Okay, after 4 years.
Sounds about right. Yeah, 4 years. And I completed in 4 years, graduated. Shout out.
Do you know
I
what
chose a
percentage
major.
your loans were at?
5. And well, one was I had like literally 8 different loans because I had to apply for them each semester.
That's not confusing for like a 21-year-old.
No. Oh, I wasn't 21. I was 18. I was signing up for like $20,000 loans from companies I'd never heard of. Do you want fixed, unfixed, this rate, a variable rate, this, student, federal? There's like 19 words they would throw at you, and I was just like, whatever I can go to school on, because got to go to school.
Mhm.
So I will tell you, I graduated in 07. 17 would have been 10 years. I'm down to 2 loans because they've been subsidized into 2 main companies.
Mhm.
And I can tell you I have 3 years with one and 5 years with another still. So I will be, when every student loan is done and paid for, 39.
How sad is that 20 years later?
Yeah, that's really sad. That's half.
Wait.
So I signed up for it at 19 and I'll be done by 38ish, right?
Yeah, that's
wild.
That's really sad.
That's like servitude. That's really sad.
Yeah. No, that's wage slave, right?
Yes, it is.
You're
so,
indebted.
Anyway, and I also I was a bio major, but I really didn't want to do bio for the rest of my life.
So you
and
stopped
I decided
Stop doing bio when?
midway or no, sophomore year, midway through, or either at the halfway point or at the end of my sophomore year. and I used all those classes as electives, and then I put all the rest of my time in on other stuff.
Huh. So I also
So,
switched, but I switched from an engineering. I went from computer engineering to electrical engineering with biomedical
electrical.
because it was way more
Money
friendly.
making?
Because the biomed part had biology classes with a lot of women in it, and I was like, oh, finally.
Oh.
Just to hear them all chattering in like a giant auditorium, I'm like, I have been missing this as a software engineer. Oh, okay.
Well, we did go to all boys school. It does affect that.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it makes you a horndog. Makes you really
A
focused
little
on
bit.
it.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
And I don't know what I was thinking not going to a school that had, like Penn State, a lot more women.
It would have had a lot more women. It would have been different for your life, but you know.
So I've been typing your numbers in a spreadsheet here.
Go ahead.
To figure
and
it
I could
out.
be wrong, dude, because those were some confusing shits, but go ahead.
Okay, so I think that you've been paying what, like $6,000 a year, maybe somewhere in that ballpark, maybe $7,000.
I can tell you what I pay a month.
So that's going to
One
be
company takes $390, but this is with interest, and the other company takes like $160. And I've been doing this for like, I don't know, like 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to have a little bit more.
It's $390 and $160.
Yeah.
The $551. My calculation was $580 a month.
It could be in $580 because I also paid off 1 or 2 loans in this 15-year span.
Okay. So you're down $7,000 a year.
It's like, oof.
And then you took English. Graduated with English?
Yes, I did.
And then
I'm a journalist.
Yes. And then you worked for your dad's company.
Folks. Yeah.
Making
right out of college.
About what? 35 to 40-ish in that range?
Probably 35-ish, yeah.
And minimum living probably costs what, $25,000?
How do you calculate the living cost?
Rent plus like $5,000 in food and other entertainment.
Here, we can do. If you want to do my finances, I'll lay them out right now.
Sure.
All right. So let's say I make $40,000 a year. Let's just say
Okay.
at this job. Okay.
Yep. You're down $7,000.
Whatever you just figured out.
Yep.
I pay whatever it is.
For college loans.
Okay. $7,000 for college loans.
Mm-hmm.
My rent is $730 a month. So figure that times 12, obviously.
Okay.
My car payment is $378. So we'll say $380. We can round up.
Okay.
$380 a month. What are the other biggies? Like cell phone, $50 a month. I have a deal with my parents.
Mm-hmm. I do that too.
Okay. Good. Smart man.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say, what am I missing? The biggies.
Food?
Amazon, I pay them like.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not there yet.
Direct
Amazon, I pay them like. $75 a month.
Utilities and all that stuff is folded in.
It is in the whatchamacall. Although I do pay for my lawnmower over the case of the year. That's like $40 a month.
Yeah, I don't factor that in.
Okay, fine. Credit card minimums, I have to pay about $300.
Okay, that's debt you've accrued.
And yes, yeah. Well, it's because of you'll say.
What was your car payment? $380 a month.
$370 something.
Okay.
And then food, we'll say, I probably spend $50 a week. Is it $200 a month? Yeah, because some weeks I spend like $100. Some weeks I spend like $30. So
just like 0.4 a month.
Sure.
$400 a month.
Sure, that's a high range, but maybe not with lunches and breakfasts and coffees. Yeah.
And then I'm gonna assume your taxes are probably like 10 to 15%, maybe 12%.
Yeah, I think I'm at 15% if you did the math. I think. Oh, and then health insurance we didn't get to, which I don't have, but will be. I think it's going to be $190 a month.
Okay. So I'm going to add incidentals, a couple grand. That might leave you with $6,000 at the end of the year. Maybe.
Sounds wrong.
Why? Because you had less than that?
No, because I don't think I had that much to spend. I think I'm forgetting something.
You probably are.
I skipped.
What did you hit? Let me bring on my big ass
spreadsheet. Maybe it's the credit cards. Did you put the credit cards on there? Because I do have to pay those.
But like the credit card debt, like you didn't have that when you first started, or did you?
No,
it's like getting out of college.
I did because I had to pay for like my geico for that, like my car insurance. I don't factor that in my month to month. It shows up every 6 months. I throw it on there.
You know, that's something I like. I never had like I paid for that like senior year of college because you were paying for it through college so that you had that accrued on credit cards as you were going along.
Probably because I probably didn't tell my parents. I was probably like, yeah, I got the money for the, they were probably like, keep $80 aside so you can pay for your car insurance. I was probably like, yeah. And then I would get a bill for like $580 for 6 months because that's what it is for 6 months.
Okay.
Oh, and then gas. We didn't do gas.
Yeah, gas.
So I probably spent 30 a week.
Travel, entertainment, beers.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about
beer.
Alcohol. And then I forgot about Netflix. And then I forgot about, there's got to be something else I forgot. One other thing that's bugging me. I forget what it is.
So you're thinking.
Anyway.
So as I hit the equate button, calculate.
Yeah.
You ended up like negative $500 a year, like somewhere around that.
Yeah, that's probably realistic.
That's realistic. Holy crap.
Yes, that's realistic. Yeah. So anyway, how would I fix that? Because also I have a son now.
Yeah.
And I have to spend more stuff on him. Like his birthday comes up. We have to go places. He wants lunch. Like he wants a game. He wants this.
Yeah, he's desiring things. You want to provide for him. So there's light at the end of the tunnel. But I'll relay my situation. So graduating with an engineering degree. My first job was in a city I didn't want, making $58,000, and then I moved, made $62,000 in a location that I wanted to be in for a job that lasted 10 years and gave me raises of about 3 to 4%.
Been there for 10 years. That's so wild.
It's crazy to say a decade.
How many times have I seen you in that time? In real life?
Like once or twice.
That's so wild because like we talk every like episode and like we've been friends forever. It's just weird to think that that I've never smelt your skin.
The oils, they permeate your body. Your oozing organ sac just perfuses through the air, and I could pick you out of a crowd. Let's say. So, in the beginning, I guess in the first 1 or 2 years, I bought a house, and my finances were really tight because I bought a house, I bought a car. Reasonable, but a little bit better than the bare minimum. New car, new house. And
what are you driving now? I remember you
still
told me
Sonata. Hyundai Sonata, 2011.
That's what it was. It's such a woman car.
It's a woman car.
It's not. I just want to be a jerk. What color is it?
Silver.
Yeah, woman car.
Yeah.
You better get a new car. Is it
this,
paid off?
Yeah. I paid it off in 5 years. The 0% interest for 60 months or whatever.
Did you get 0%? Although my dad got 0%. And I was like, you're a son of a bitch. I got like... Now mine's low. It's like 3.8%. But I was like, come on.
This is also a hack that my parents did. When I was a teenager, they put me on their credit card as an authorized user, which makes their credit seem like my credit. So by the time I got out of college, I had a credit rating that was like 800 something, and it looked like I had been using credit for 8 years.
Hold on, this isn't fair because I have had a credit card forever.
But have you been paying it off?
Yeah, my credit score is like 826.
Oh, finally. But it also is like the load.
Well, hold on. My credit isn't good. My credit score is amazing.
Yes. So,
but if I applied for something new, like I can't get a Kohl's card.
This is exactly what I wanted to cover. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Because if I apply for a Kohl's card, I literally get rejected, and I know it'll happen. But there's a little bit of a hack here too. You apply for the Kohl's card, they give you 30% off, and I'm like, yeah, I've never done this, so I apply, and I know they're going to say no.
You get 30%.
They're like, ooh, sorry, sir, your debt to income ratio is terrible.
Yeah. So the credit cards do it by age, and they also do it by regular payments. If you pay off the minimum.
Never missed a payment.
But they also do it by like whether you're going to be positive or negative, and then revolving credit. So like the total amount of credit that you have versus how much you continually have each month, that's probably what's hurting you.
It probably has been the past 6 months.
The most ridiculous part of that is that because you can't get good credit, they're going to hit you with more fees and interest and make you pay more money.
So when I was applying for a new job, I said, I want to take all my student debt. I haven't missed a payment in 15 years, whatever the hell it was.
Mm-hmm.
I brought it to Citizens Bank. I've been with Citizens Bank since I was like 2004,
Mm-hmm.
2018 at the time. I said, hey, you guys have a student loan program. I want to roll it all into one single payment, lower my payment to a 5-year plan. They looked at it and said, wow, yeah, you haven't missed a payment. You have great credit, blah, 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 blah. And it kept saying, oh, there's a holdup. There's a holdup. And I was like, well, what is it? And I was like, I pay a lot. It's like $550, whatever we just figured out a month. I was like, I was hoping to get it down to like $400, and I'll pay it off. I have great credit. I'm with you guys forever. They were like, oh, I'm really sorry. You can't afford to get your payments lowered. Damn it.
Oh, you got it.
And it was just the worst feeling in the world. And I was like, so I don't make enough money, but I haven't missed a payment, so I have to keep paying more and make my timely payments, which I do.
Be great if he's like, excuse me, sir, can you just lean forward a little bit?
Sir, can you come here?
You're getting fucked by the man.
We're not going to touch that with a pole.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Please leave.
Sir, take your debt with you. You drop something. It's your debt.
Yeah, it's huge. I can't lift it myself. You're going to have to...
Sir,
can I help?
We're going to need 3 people over here.
Yeah.
We're going to need the help staff. We need the janitor. Where's the damn janitor?
Man.
He can lift this debt. Yeah, it's a shitty way to go. That's life, folks.
So I recall it being pretty slim. Like, I always contributed to a Roth IRA.
I don't know what that is.
I will go over those once we get to the light at the end of the tunnel. And then
the light.
401k, so retirement savings. I was putting a little money away. That's something that people like.
I'm getting in 2 months.
Yes, you're going to vest. You're going to be allowed to put money into it.
Should I?
Yes.
No, should I?
Not yet, but we'll talk about that.
Wait till I'm out of debt first, right?
So it was weird because I was juggling buying a house, buying a car, and then
investing in your future.
Girlfriend / wife at the time was maybe working. She was like off and on, and she was probably making like $25,000. Like, she wasn't making very much at all. So like, I was not supporting her because she was break even.
What did minimum wage go to?
About that? It was like $7 something bucks, I think, at the time, like $7.50-ish. So times 2,000, what is that? That's like $15,000 a year minimum wage.
I was thinking 17. So yeah, that makes sense.
I'll double check my math.
Yeah, I mean, no. I was thinking 17.5 was what minimum wage, but you're talking about a different time, so.
Yeah. It was about $15K back then. So she was making a little bit above $15K, and she was educated too. She had a master's, which is bizarre. Which is the Great Recession, which is also another time period we should talk about, because jobs for people were non-existent back then.
This is all hilarious, by the way. We keep going.
So, Great Recession, for people who didn't have, I guess, a functional degree, like a degree that was in demand, you were left kind of treading water, looking for anything that you could take.
Sure.
Did you apply to any jobs that were maybe higher paying, that could be in the newspaper industry, which I hear is booming right now?
Son of a bitch. It literally was the
pinnacle.
If it had been 2 years later, I would not have switched to journalism. But at the time, I loved sports. Like, I knew my favorite writers, like Bill Fleischman, all these guys. I was like, I could be a Flyers beat writer. Like, that would be, even if I don't make as much as like a bio, whatever, like, this would be really cool. Anyway, about 2 years later, that whole industry took a shit big time.
Huge.
The biggest shit. And the writing was on the wall, so it's not like it was a surprise, but you hoped.
For someone who is middle-aged, that looking back, it's understandable. But at the time, the internet was still something that you didn't even, like, Google was like something that you're like, okay, what search engine do I use? You're like, what's this Google? Like, people were still trying to figure out. Yeah.
People were still using Dogpile.
Ask Jeeves.
Like those. Ask Jeeves. 27 Spiders. Was that one?
I don't even think. Mama.
It was like Mama. Yeah. These are all good.
Yeah. And so you had a lot of options, and I guess it wasn't very obvious because you couldn't really get your information online and have it be reliable.
By the time I was a senior, I was like, it doesn't seem good, but I'm already here.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem good.
You got fucked. You got railed.
Yeah, a little bit.
And hard.
Yeah.
Long. Very long.
Mm-hmm. So
you're
people with majors like my own.
Yeah, you're about break even. You're not gaining. You're not moving towards not even solvency. If you're not positive, then you're insolvent. You'll go broke via debt.
Sure.
And I guess your saving grace at the moment financially was that you found somebody that was willing to split the bills with you.
A little bit.
Your 730 was a split bill to begin with.
Oh yeah, that's a 3-way split.
Shit. So if you were alone, you'd be completely.
Well, I wouldn't rent this fucking house.
Yeah.
4 bedrooms.
But still, 730 is a single, like that's also the scale of like living alone versus living with 3 people. It's like the cost is not that much more.
That does. Correct.
So you would have paid probably like $800. My first apartment was $850.
Correct. $850 was it?
Yeah, in a low cost of living area.
Jesus Christ.
So
think of this. Could you have done the $850 paying like $550 a month extra with student loans?
No, I don't think I could have, because my margins were like 5 or 10 grand. Like it was very slim. I would have had like no emergency money whatsoever. Yeah.
Anyway, keep going.
Okay. So
that's wild.
Yeah, your perspective is completely different than mine. So this is going to be really interesting.
We always knew it was, but go ahead.
Yeah. So I guess your credit card debt is probably the same debt that you've had for 10 years.
Roughly. It probably gets like $500 to $1,000 more a year.
It's been growing?
Oh yeah, a little bit. I mean, it probably was 6,000. Now it's probably close to 10,000.
So at what percentage do you pay off is your credit card debt?
What is it, 12%?
So if you have 10,000?
Yeah. Roughly. It might be down to 8. It might be at 10.5.
So you're paying an extra $1,000, $1,200 a year just in interest?
Probably, but how else am I going to get my Geico paid? How else am I going to... Oh, my kid needs his medicine for Flovent. Oh,
this is the scary part. Yeah, it's like medical stuff that is absolutely necessary. It's like you couldn't pay that if you were further insolvent. Like if you were unable to get a car, insurance, like you'd have to scale back, and then your job would probably pay less
anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. You'd be minimum wage, guaranteed, without a chance to go elsewhere.
Correct.
Which is why I think a lot of people move to the city, because the city provides a lot for you in infrastructure.
Transportation, easier to... Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. It provides a possibility to get out, but I don't know that it actually does. So this is the rat... I don't even know if this is the rat race. This is like getting stomped into a...
Circle? Some sort of a circle?
Yeah.
Circle jerk?
Yeah. The man just reaches down and just decides.
The only good news for me is that by the time this episode airs, I will be making at least $45,000 a year. Plus commissions.
So you were scaling up.
I will be literally in the positive $400 a year. You know what I'm going to do with that money? Spread out over 52 weeks and spend it.
Nice. So how much do you get per week? Do you have the math on that?
I don't know.
You want to know?
What's 50? What's 50 into 400? That should be easy.
50 into 400?
Yeah, $80.
Yeah. Well, $400 divided by 52. $8 a week.
Oh damn! It's $8 a week. Damn it! I already spent it.
Sorry, I'm laughing at you. Oh my god, that's terrible. That's like getting fast food. That's. So
yeah, but now I can do it without getting any debt.
That's true.
I can get fat again. It's about time to get fat again.
So my whole thing is I'm very analytical. I'm very planning, Boy Scout, prepare yourself. And my first job sucked. And I did a little bit of like planning, tried to like project where I would be because I didn't know how much you could make. And then my second job was good, so I kept it for 10 years, but it also had a lot of downtime, so I created these crazy spreadsheets. And then I got into like financially independent, retire early ideas, or moneyglider.com.
There it is. I knew we were going to drop. This is the whole point of the episode, folks. We're just doing a moneyglider.com.
That website is inactive, but I would like to add more stories to it. There's actually people looking at it. there are people saying thanks for writing this, and I'm like, it's weird to write a story and then 3 years later have someone
3 years
come
later,
back.
someone say thanks.
Thanks.
Well, here's the weird part. When do you respond?
Never.
You're welcome. Well,
5 years later.
Well, do you have to do like a equal time spent, like space the times equally and set a reminder to thank them in 2 years, or do you thank them like immediately? And that's weird too.
Yeah. I don't know. It only costs $12 to keep that website active, so I'm just going to keep it open forever. I'm going to maybe come back to it when I'm like 50 and be like, hey, I wrote this when I was little. A little 30-year-old.
Little. Did you? It's
Yeah.
so weird that you called yourself little. That's so strange.
Because I'm getting really muscular and jacked from older.
Yeah, I think we know which direction you're going, buddy.
I'm getting jacked. So,
jack off.
that $8, what are you going to do with it? You're going to buy fast food? So the whole...
Probably. I'm hoping to get fat.
The whole fire thing is like you save a bunch of money by like gaming the system, house hacking, living with a lot of people. You try to like reduce what you spend, but you also that's the reducing what you spend is hard and it stresses people out.
It is.
The other side of it is earning more.
Well, you're right.
Yeah.
Earning more is one thing, but not everyone. That's the harder one. People say make more money. That one's tougher.
Yeah.
People say cutting costs. That's tough, but it's not impossible. What if your spouse or other is a spendaholic and you have to just try and keep up with them?
Is that the case with you? She makes more money than you, right? Yours
roughly 2.5 times as much and spends all of it. And I have to drag my feet along the ground at 60 miles an hour just to try and buy that party tray for $30 that we didn't probably need, but we have to bring to the party, and then a gift for so-and-so that costs so-and-so, and I didn't think we needed to do that. And then, oh, we should have the people over, but if we're going to have people over, I got to buy a case of beer. I have to buy food. We have to buy hors d'oeuvres. I have to buy extra burgers, and then let's get steak. Yeah, let's get steak. Let's get steak. Let's get steak. It's a great idea. Who can put a price on that? Yeah, this kind of thing.
$12 right there.
Exactly.
Steaks.
There's my $8.
Yeah, that's negative $4 for the week.
I just went -4, even though I made more money.
So holy shit. So there's two key differences between you and me. Is A, I don't think I could put up with that. Like I would just say I can't. No. And then B, you're more of a party person and extrovert, whereas
true.
I and my wife are not. Well,
do you guys? Who do you have down there?
We have like random friends that aren't that close to us. Like we have some friends.
How do you see them? Like once every 4 weeks, or like once a year, or like kind of?
Probably like maybe we hang out with friends like once every 2 months. Like really, honestly.
Oh, damn, you're so rare. Lucky. You don't have to see people. I'm an extrovert and I hate people. I'm like, I love having parties, and if they come over, I will laugh and have fun and drink with them and tell them stories and regale them with tales. But honestly, I don't want to because it costs money. It's time consuming. I'm spending money, not making money. I'm just. Ugh.
Yeah, my biggest spending on my hobbies is playing hockey, and that's like $20 a game. I used to play 2 games a week, so it's 40. That's like $2,000 a year just in hockey, and then equipment probably costs like $500. So,
Have you ever sharpened your skates?
I would sharpen them whenever they were a little dull.
Oh.
That'd probably be like every 2 months.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
It's a reasonable. Well,
no, that's good.
Southern
you to say
ice
a year.
Soft, yeah. It doesn't wear your skates down as much.
No, that's good considering what you just said. I thought you were going to say once a year because you can get away with it. And I was going to be like,
I think I will now that I'm playing once a week. But that sort of spending, like I was like borderline. So there's another caveat is that people save money and they try to live this like fire lifestyle, the financially independent retire early lifestyle, and they do the bare minimum. Like they cut the enjoyment out of their life. They cut every
the people who literally will penny pinch every dollar, never go out to dinner. They will not spend a dime on anything. You will not get anything unless it's your birthday or Christmas. We will not spend any money. Vacation, yeah, we're going to do an all-inclusive. We pay for everything before we go, and that's it. We're trying to save money for our future. Mm-hmm. There are people like that, correct?
Yeah. Cheapskates and moochers.
Fire? Kind of, but
lentil
they're rich.
Eaters. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. They're misers. Miser?
Sure. I never. I mean, like I
heard
was
that
like
term?
heat miser, cold miser. I was like, yeah, from
Miser.
Um,
Miser. Miser.
the what are they called? It fire.
Financially independent, retire early.
Independent. Ah, okay, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, they tell you how to game it. So, like, you eat, like, peanut butter and jelly. Like, you can
You ask
buy
for
it
a
in
water
bulk
cup
and
at
freeze it.
Wawa.
And then, like, if you want soup, you just, like, buy lentils and put them in water and, like, eat them later. It's like, the meals can be, like, 10-cent meals. And then they're disgusting.
And this is a person who's probably making 80,000 a year and doesn't
Yes.
have the debt I have, and they're literally pinching their pennies.
Maximizing the financial aspect of their life. Which,
I have a sad story to tell y'all.
do it.
So in our industry, before I started here, a rival competitor, friendly competitor, in the Kensington area used to sell paper towels and toilet paper and stuff, and he would mark it up crazy. And it's a cash business. He would take like $2,000 a week out of the business and say, "Hey, you got to put this away. Just put it, pack it in his house, not touch it.
Bar gold.
It's nothing. Has nothing to do with his business. Nothing to do with what he pays himself every week. This is just money he stores away for a rainy day." Okay. He would do this for 20 years, and go to the local inn everywhere, and then pay everyone their tip. You know what he tipped? $1 per person. So if you had 4 people, it's a $4 tip, sweetheart. Pa-ching! He was extremely cheap. He made money hand over fist. He literally died, and left his son millions of dollars.
So it's $2,000 a month? He would say a week.
A week.
Holy sh!
Impassional. That probably wasn't recorded by the gov.
I like how it lagged a little bit. So when you said government, I was like you didn't want to say it.
I said gov. That's funny that it lagged there. So this individual left all this money to his son. Okay. Free money.
His son goes ape shit and spends it all. Please tell me that happened.
Sort of. So his son didn't know he was going to get this money. He's working in the same business, kind of sweating it, doing regular guy stuff. Finds out he's got millions of dollars. Okay. Now he's 48, 52, somewhere in that range. He said, "Guess what? Retiring early." Starts traveling. He goes on vacation 6 weeks a year. Okay.
Nice.
He's got daughters who are kind of lazy and have everything paid for.
No.
Okay.
Classic third generational wealth.
That's what happens. Yep. So he takes care of all their bills. They had kids. He's taking care of them. He's paying everyone here, but he's still trying to be tight with the drawstrings. You know what I mean? He's trying to whatever. He recently was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer.
It's a fast one.
Which is a bad one.
Yeah.
He's still going on vacation, still doing his therapy, and still paying for his daughter's housing and everything else. And it's weird that he's probably going to leave them plenty of money for them to live their lives on. I'm not saying he's going to die, but it's because I know the guy personally. I don't want him to watch this episode and know I'm talking about him, but pancreatic cancer is bad. And last I heard, there was a relapse. They have to redo something. They want him to come in and get more chemo. In a way, he's living his best life. He's spending it on ridiculous meals, ridiculous trips, everything. He's just spending the shit out of it. And I can't blame him.
Yeah.
What else can you do with it? I mean, we were just talking about misers, the people who hoard it. You can only do so much when you hoard. Like, who are you saving it for?
That's true. Because you're expecting to live a certain life. And if you are... So my point was that if you're a miser and you're not taking care of yourself, your health, if you're not exercising, like if you don't join a gym or play hockey like I did, then your health could be degraded. So spending $2,000 on hockey ensures that my life will be extended enough that I can enjoy the money that I am saving. So it's a reasonable expense.
If I can talk to the league you play in and get footage of one of your games, I will post it on here. and we will see if this extends your life. We will all judge it. We'll look at it and say, not hustling after that puck. I thought he had sharpened skates. He sharpens them every 2 months.
So there was a period in the beginning when I was making just enough to cover all my expenses and put a little in retirement. And in that period, I learned a lot of good traits because I was budgeting everything. I had a giant spreadsheet. I could see where I was spending my money, and I could see.
How big is your spreadsheet?
It was like 12 sheets or something. It had projections down to the week. Like I could tell how much money I was over or under for the year based on like one paycheck. And I was like, ooh, I got to cut back. So part of that was also learning like credit card hacks, like being an authorized user of my parents, but also the rewards credit and rewards checking accounts. So like the rewards for the credit cards, you could sign up for credit cards, meet a certain spending limit.
I know this hack.
You get $500 or $1,000. So
what do you do?
Once I bought my house, I would pay the property taxes with my credit cards, and every year I would get $500 to $1,000. Yeah, and pay it off because I had the cash sitting around, so it was built up. Most people's mortgages have the property tax folded into the mortgage payment, and when I bought my house, I said I don't want that.
Oh, you were thinking.
Yeah, because I could do that myself and make $500 on it.
Nice.
So that was one of the hacks. And then rewards checking accounts. You can get 4 or 5% in the money that you have in a checking account based on meeting certain requirements. They're usually like transferring money into the account and then using their card like X number of times. It's like 10 or 12 times. So that's not that hard at all. So I have a decent amount of money sitting in those type of accounts that makes me feel comfortable that it's not losing value, because inflation is about 2.5% to 3% depending on the month, and it's above that. So I'm gaining money on inflation by having money there.
I have a hack for all the poor people.
Yep.
So if you're doing your whole thing and like a year goes by and whatever, and all of a sudden you thought the car payment went through, but really the next check that went in took like an extra 2 business days,
Bounce.
and then everything bounces, call them up right away. In fact, hit up Citizens Bank on the old Twitter bot. You're like, hey, what's going on, man? Something's wrong with your account. Call them up, say you haven't had a problem, you haven't been in the negative your entire career that year, and they'll say, hey, can you refund me that bounce? And they'll say, yeah, absolutely. Here you go. You have $17 in your checking, and you go, yeah.
Yes, $17.
Boom!
You can really feel that dollars,
Mom. So, but you can do that once a year without penalty. Did you know that?
I have fought. It's funny because I do the same things, even though I'm not poor. I'm a little bit of a miser. If I were to have a check bounce, or there's some fee, or it's like you're not meeting the minimum X number of dollars, who makes a checking account that requires $1,500 or you get charged money? Do you have a free checking account?
Yeah, as long as I don't I think I have to do 2 deposits a month. And
pray to God and don't curse.
Yeah, something like that. There's a lot of rules.
Wear some thigh highs underneath your regular pants.
I'll do it.
Yeah. I mean, how much is in that? A lot. The man is just a different man this time around.
The man wants you to dress like not a man. Man knows.
So the whole reason for this talk is that last time, I think you mentioned that you're in a position where you're like, you've had a couple jobs, and now you're on a job where it could project out to make a lot more money because you're kind of, what they call it, an associate, or like your intern, or not an intern, but
hell knows, junior sales.
Yeah, you junior sales. So like, if it scales up, like they say,
33 months, as the past 10 people have done, average of 10 people, $100,000.
Yeah.
You'd be like, whoa, $100,000 would change my life.
Yep. I think it would.
And I wouldn't have to work Saturday and Sunday or nights to do it, sir? And he went, nope. I said, I wouldn't have to suck any you-know-whats to do it? And he said, well, a few. And I said, okay, well, a few. I understand. And I said, but are you sure I can get there? And he said, yeah, stick with it. And I was like, okay. So I've been practicing my moves. I'm gonna do the whole pepper grinder.
Yeah.
Pepper grinder's good. But if I did that, even for a year, if I could get rid of a bunch of my debts.
Yeah. You gain $1,000 by paying off the $10,000 that you have in debt.
Yeah. And then my other debt and my other debt and my student loan debt and my car payment. Car payment will be done in 21 months.
So your horizon is Your horizon is coming quickly. The sun is rising. Coming.
If I can survive.
Yes. If you can survive. So you're at a turning point. And I'm not sure that you've ever had financial insight or like planning or retirement or any of that stuff. So you're in a job that is full-time.
They match 401k to 4%.
Nice. Good job.
They do profit sharing at the end of the year.
My old job was only 3%. And profit sharing is pretty good. I don't have profit sharing. And so you might actually come out ahead in a very short time frame. Because now you have insurance, health insurance as well.
I don't have it yet. And I haven't decided if I can afford it.
But you have to take it because of the risk. At least the minimum. So this starts our discussion.
Okay, here we go. Let's go risk minimums. Let's do it.
This is a grown-up job.
This is your wheelhouse. Come on, dude. This is your wheelhouse, Dan.
Yeah.
You want to talk risk? You want to talk minimums? You want to do it?
Yeah. So for certain periods of my life, we took like the full insurance, but I don't think that's the best choice to make. Like the full insurance is the insurance that costs the most, but has a lower deductible and then covers more.
Hold on. You make more than me. You have some nice insurance packages. Yes. What could a nice insurance package for your full family cost you a month?
It's around $300, and the expenses are limited to maybe like $3,000 a year out of pocket.
Deductible?
No, the deductible's lower than that, but it's like it really caps out. So like mine is my company has a Cadillac plans, which are like once you hit a certain number, you don't pay anything at all.
Yo, dude.
So it
Can you put me on my plan? On your plan?
I'll adopt you as my nephew or something.
Dependent.
Yeah.
You throw an old zero next to my name.
I would love to do that just to fuck the government because of like the idea of like who your family is and like how you have to like be related to somebody to give them insurance.
Have you ever seen the UnPanders? We're a family.
Yeah. How many podcasts does it make to make a family? 100?
100.
Yeah,
100?
Obviously.
We're well over 100, sir. Well over 100. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, we don't do that one because of the way insurance works. You pay up front a lot of money, and then in the back end you pay a little bit. Or you can just say, I don't want to do that because health insurance is a giant fucking scam. You can
future episode, folks. Future episode with Star.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I do the high deductible plan, which they actually pay me money to take that. And then you can also have a health savings account. So you can put $7,000 into the health savings account a year.
Oh,
You've heard so.
I don't know how this works. I've heard about this. Go ahead.
So that actually reduces your taxable income by $7,000. So you save you're at like 15%.
Do you have to hold on. Do you have to put $7,000 into it, though?
Yeah, but you get to keep that. It's not like a flex spending account.
I understand, but I won't have that every week, right?
Yes, you won't have that every week, but you can put that into investment.
I'm putting less.
Wait,
I can put it where?
You can invest that money as you see fit. So
it's an HSPA or whatever the hell it is.
HSA, health savings account.
Yeah. Sure.
It's exactly like a 401k, but it's expected to be used for medical expenses.
Okay.
So if you do have a medical expense, you could just write yourself a check from the HSA and pay off the medical expense.
Or where's this money coming from? Every time my check comes out, I have to put like $39 or $89 into an account somewhere?
I like your random numbers.
Well,
Every week it'd be $135.
Okay, but it's for everyone or just for me or for this plan?
It is tagged to you, so it's your health savings account.
Okay.
And the key there is that you don't pay tax on it, and then when it comes out, you don't pay tax on it. So it's doubly tax advantaged.
That's kind of cool. I understand what you're saying, because then I don't get taxed on this money, correct?
At all. Yeah. And most people don't spend the money that they have in their health savings account because they can make it grow. And then once they hit a certain age, they can start using it for a variety of things. So they'd rather spend taxed money on medical bills until a point where maybe you don't have enough money, but you can use your old medical bills to pull money from your HSA. So if ever you're in trouble, save the bills that you've had for your previous surgeries, maybe a leg injury, some idiocy in your past. You can take that bill and say, I would like to use my HSA now. Yeah, nice. That's getting kind of chalky.
Like that, folks?
Yeah. Leg reveal at 1,000
Leg
likes.
reveal.
So you can use that. You're safe. You're safe with having that as an HSA, even if you're at risk of losing your job, because you can always pull money out of it if you have a medical issue or have had medical issues at any time in the past. So I highly suggest that. And that's something I didn't really know. I didn't really understand it until maybe a few years ago. And then I started having babies. So the babies made it so that it wasn't so smart to be on the the high deductible plan, because it would be the max, which then depends. It's in the weird region of confusion.
Interesting.
You've got this graph here, and there's this middle area that's just confusing. We're going to ignore that part. So you've got that going for you, and I suggest you do that.
Thanks. I think I will.
Yeah. And 401k? Roth IRA?
Yeah. Roth IRA, I don't know what you're talking about.
So 401k is it reduces your taxable income. It's the same thing as HSA. Yes, it does. So you get to save 15% on that.
Right.
Yep.
Eat a dick, government. Eat a dick, gov. Anyway, guys, I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
4%. I can.
So that grows. Company. Yeah. Pre-tax income that grows over time, and then once you want to take it out, compounding interest. Curve.
Of course. Yeah. So hold on. So how does it behoove you? When should you take out a 401k? Never?
I guess whenever you want to retire. After a certain point, there are no penalties, but there's also ways you can take money out of your 401k. There's something called a 72T, which means that you can
prima nocte. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, substantially equal periodic payments, which means like if you have enough money to retire when you're 50, you can just say, I want to take out this amount of money indefinitely. Or I think it's like 5 years, whatever. And they'll allow you to take money out without penalty. Otherwise, there's like a 10% penalty and other garbage.
What if you wait till I'm like 61?
It's 69.5 that has no penalty.
Damn.
Or no, wait, 59.5, sorry.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Interesting.
Yeah. Huh. So that's one option.
No matter where your 401k started or how it grew or whatever, where it's from, it's like, hey, 60, I can get it.
Yeah,
right?
Pretty much.
Okay. I'm interested.
But you still pay tax on it.
Regular tax.
Yeah. Whatever your income is at the time. So this is one thing that I didn't get fully, or I was in like a band where it didn't matter how much I did it. So I did it, a tax band. So
okay, sorry, I thought you were in a band. I was like, holy shit.
So I should have saved more in my 401k, but it still turned out okay. And I didn't think that I needed to game the system, but I could have more. But again,
you get free money, the percentage, right?
Yeah, I think I was contributing like maybe 10 or 12 grand every year, which was good, but the max was like 16 or 18. So I could have done better, but I don't think I realized the scheme of like how you can screw the government out of their own money. But also, I don't know how much money I'll have when I retire, so that might actually be taxed more.
Not be negligible.
Yeah. So the Roth is what is advantage. Roth, you never heard that term before?
No, go ahead. Keep going. That's why I leaned in. I was paying attention for Roth. Sure. So this is the one thing I'd never heard of.
A Roth is post-tax income, so it's regular money. You can put it in there up to $6,000 a year, and then that will grow with compound interest. You put it in the market, and then when you take it out, you don't pay any tax on it.
Compound interest?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, my man.
Yeah. So if you were able to do that and then amass a
Compound
lot
me,
of money,
daddy.
you could then pull that money out without being taxed, which helps you choose how much to be taxed in the future.
You're saying compound me, daddy.
Compound me, yes.
That's awesome. I mean, right now I couldn't put more than $1, but would they accept $1 in Roth IRA?
Yes,
Really?
I believe they would. I know there are no fees
Wow.
associated with doing these things. There's also methods in the fire community to do it so that you can put more than $6,000 in, but there are very thin bands.
Illegal. It's illegal.
It's not illegal. It's actually
It's
approved by Congress.
illegal. No, it's illegal.
Proof is this is a bill that has been signed like 2 years ago to say that this is legal. You can over contribute to a 401k and then, if your plan allows for it, transfer it over to the Roth. So you
that
can.
Sounds illegal.
It's not.
I'm gonna say illegal.
I'm gonna say that's approved by the government. The government loves this stuff.
I mean, really, we're talking about stuff I can't really worry about right this moment.
Yeah, but this is forecasting. So that a lot of people do this. Like I did this too when I was younger because I didn't have enough margin to say it's gonna matter. Like putting an extra $1,000 in is not gonna matter. And eventually, you get busy.
It will matter.
Time flies forward. You have a baby. That you come out of a warp, and you're like, "What the hell just happened?"
Me in a future relationship where I have a new baby with a new woman, and how crazy would that be if I have a new relationship, a new baby, and by the time this episode drops,
that would be insane. Be like 10 months from now. 10 months ago,
possible.
We mentioned it.
Anyway, but yeah, move on.
So you're going to go through a time warp, and then it will matter, and you will have looked back and said, why didn't I research this stuff when I had the time, or, before I started making all this money? Like, plan it out so that you know where your money's going to go, and not for you yet, because you need to pay off your highest interest debt first, obviously. Most people don't know that. Yeah, you're gonna buy that sandwich at Dairy Queen and be like, screw that, 10 grand in credit card debt. I'm so used to it now, I can handle it. I'm a man. I'm gonna take it in the ass, up the butt. All that $1,200 of debt, accrual and interest.
Hey, privilege.
So do you feel like you're about to turn the corner? You probably don't, because you're still making a similar amount.
I feel like I'm still like a year and a half away. Year, 6 months, 12 months, somewhere in there, 15 months. I do feel like if I stay on this job path, I'll make enough money where I literally have money to put places. And I think that's the weirdest feeling in the world. I've never had money where I'm like, hey, I got extra money. Where do I put it? Why don't I pay down my debt? I think that would be cool. Because at that point, if I did that 2, 5, 10 times and then did it to another area, I think I could put money into like a savings or something. I don't know. This sounds ridiculous.
Sounds bizarre to you, right?
It sounds people who are poor are like, savings?
What?
Are you talking about for future?
At a bank?
I'm like, hold on.
How do you get an account? Who do you talk to?
I could get 1% interest. Which is crazy. Do you know the interest rates changed when we were teenagers?
So there was that Great Recession, which before that you could get like 3 or 4% in like a savings account.
Yeah.
It was insane. Yes. The amount of money you could save and gain was absurd. It just didn't make any sense.
4% in a bank. You literally put your bank in a savings account and you get 4% per year. Is it year?
Yeah. APY.
Cool.
APY. Or APR. I don't know which one it was. Probably APY.
Either way. Now, what's the average savings percent?
If you go online, the shitty ones are like 1%. You can go online and get ones that are like 2.2%. I think Discover and Ally Bank.
Do you know how much I made in my I have 2 checking accounts. The one is for danger.
Below $1.
I have like $130 in there.
So sad.
I made $1.
That's not bad. 1%. It's okay. That's all right. I can handle it.
Thanks, guys.
Getting
Oh
kicked
my
in the
god!
nuts.
I got a free $1. What do I do with it?
Oh, it's a
I
chicken
throw
nugget
it
or
in the
two.
trash.
Play the lottery with it. Don't do that. I play the lottery, but don't do that. I see the people that
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Wait, do you?
Yeah.
We talked about this. This is a habit of poor people. You can't do that.
Well, the habit of poor people is that person that takes tickets out, scratches them off while still standing in front of the machine.
Oh, I know.
And then I'm waiting for them to move, and they're, oh, I didn't win. More dollars.
Sticking them in the machine, sticking them in the machine, sticking them in the machine.
An envelope full of 20s, and you're just like, what are you doing?
Oh, not a great decision.
So we're talking about the stages here. So you're insolvent. That's stage 0. Stage 1 is solvency, is where you're able to actually meet your financial needs.
I'm hoping to get there.
Your stability is coming. It's when you've paid off your debt and you're neutral.
Oh boy.
And what you're talking about, savings accounts, that's agency, is where you have a choice of where your money goes because you have some of it.
I tell my kids about this.
And then I think maybe you'll be at a security stage when your basic needs are taken care of. You feel stable. Yeah, you've gotten.
Are you fucking with me?
No, you gotta get there. You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it.
Actually, they're talking about the Panders taking off in Chicago. And it does.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. I turned off the ads.
$8 a month.
I think our ads were making us like about a savings account worth of money, so I turned them off. I was like, this ain't gonna cover the $12 it costs to run the website. By the way, it costs $12 to run the website, so I'm hoping that somehow it balances out in the end.
Wait, you fucking are paying $12 for hang glider or whatever. You won't do it for Panders? What is this?
Oh,
you got favorites? You got favorites? Oh, God. I think we caught you.
So stage 5 is what I'm aspiring to. Independence. There's a period where you have the amount of money that will meet your basic needs perpetually. So,
I mean,
yeah, it can support my current standard of living. But I'm not there yet. I'm not close to there, actually.
I feel bad for you.
Yeah, it's a weird... So, what's the Thoreau quote? It's, most men live a life of quiet desperation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's always a goal that people are trying to shoot for. So even though your goal is probably vastly different than mine, we both probably feel about the same about where we're at. We're both trying to claw our way through it and slowly gain. And I feel like this might happen for me like 10 years from now. Maybe
my student loans will be paid off?
Well, your student loans.
No. In the next 10 years of
definitely,
your
I would
life,
hope so.
My student loans will be paid off.
Yeah, and your car and your debt, credit card,
not my credit card,
student loans, all that stuff. You should, you'll get it. You need to pay that off first.
Okay.
I would have deferred. I think you can do, honestly. So I thought you could do income deferred.
Your interest compounds.
Yeah, but you could, for your student loans, you could have done income dependent paybacks, right? You had a different kind of loan, didn't you?
Yes.
You had the
mine was through the
not government.
The only one that didn't.
Okay. So you're paying off the highest percentage rate first, right? You got it.
Absolutely.
Nice. So eventually you'll get there. So I'm shooting for the independence phase, and I'm hoping for the abundance phase, which is stage 6. It's where you have more money than you know what to do with, and then it compounds and keeps making it so that you can gain more money on your money that you already have.
Oh, 100%.
And that would be nice. Do you think you'll get there? Do you even plot this out? Can you afford Excel?
No.
Google Sheets that's free. Do you have the internet? Can you do that on your phone? I know we have a spreadsheet that has our episode info in it, and I don't see any updates, so you're gonna have to.
I haven't paid the internet bill. The only thing I will say to you is you seem more financially with it than I do, right?
Yeah, maybe.
But you look way less tan than I do.
I'm sacrificing my body for my current phase of life. Where I sedentary lifestyle inside a cool office building, doing mental menial tasks.
That's what I start doing.
Automation.
Folks,
You think this
thanks
is
for
done?
tuning in.
Yeah.
I think this is done. This is probably like, I can't find the
No.
timer. This is like an hour and like 15 minutes.
So let me pose this. You'll get to retirement sometime. You don't know when.
I won't. It's going to be 90.
Do you remember going to school and having the summer hit? The first day of summer, where you had nothing to do. You had no one to talk to, no one that you owed anything to. It was just summer, and you had freedom.
It's going to last like 9 years.
And then you're going to die? Is that what you said? The expected lifestyle?
No.
9 years of freedom?
It lasted 9 years. It felt like.
Oh, after
summer
college?
Felt like it was forever. No.
Oh, you're talking about the scale of time.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you want that? That moment where you're just free and clear, where no one can tell you what to do.
Here's the weird
boss.
part. I felt like it was going to last 9 years, and it was over in probably 2.5 months, right?
Yeah.
If something really lasted 9.5 years, I feel like I would be like, this is too long.
You don't think you can handle it?
No, I think it would be weird. I think even having financial stability and nothing to do, I'll put it this way. So
you
I
could
worked
do anything you wanted, though. You could do everything that you wanted.
I worked in the African American community of 40 and older age group.
Mm-hmm.
My last job. They all had one thing in common. The ones who actually retired gained 80 pounds. Felt like they were dying. Their limbs went out on them. I had a guy whose eyes went weird. He had blood pressure in his eyes. He almost lost his eyes. Like, terrible stuff. The ones who didn't have any problems were the ones who retired with them or kept working. Because when you don't have something to wake up to, when you don't have something that you report to, there's something you need to have structure in your life, even if it's on the smallest scale. If you don't, and you say, I can do anything, I have so much money, I can just work out every day. You're not going to freaking work out every day, are you?
I think I will. I think I have enough structure that I
you
would
won't.
implement.
You will never get my six-pack.
In between my video, I'm gonna get my six-pack. 10 years from now.
You're not.
I'll be an old man with a six-pack.
Hold on.
I'll be jacked.
How old will you be?
45 with a six-pack.
Just doing crunches and everything from the thing.
I'll remember this.
Just be like, you son of a bitch. It's weird. I feel like there's a weird there's a balance between what you want to do, what you will do, how much you will do.
Don't you think there'll be a rebirth, though? If you have all this free time, you'll eventually be like, you'll lose all the shackles. You'll be free to think about whatever you wanted. You'll be completely recharged. Sure. You'll be ready to attack whatever you want to do, and you'll know what you want to do because you'll be able to do everything, and then be like, no, I like that the most.
Just because you're older doesn't mean you know everything. Like, you won't be like, I know what I want to do.
But you have the opportunity to experience more, so you can choose what the experiences that you want.
I'm 34, okay?
When I was
18, I know I am. When I was 18, someone said, if I give you free time for the rest of your life, what would you do? I'd be like, play my bass, get drunk with my friends. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Who the frig knows? If you ask me now, I'd be like, I don't know. Hang out with my son, play my bass. You know what I mean? I have these ideas, but your life is a series of doing things. If I were told I didn't have to do things, I think I would stop doing things. I think I would stagnate. This is the problem with people. They stagnate.
Yeah. Most people do not have the drive to create their own schedule and drive their own life.
you stagnate, and your body physically responds to it. So you don't have to wake up at 5:45 every morning and go to work by 6:30 and come home by 4. Like,
You would sleep shift. You'd wake up, go to sleep. You go to sleep at like 5 a.m. and then wake up at like 1 if you were completely alone.
I mean,
like summer. I would do that in summer and it would be amazing. But I'd feel
it would be
weird.
amazing.
It'd be weird.
But over time, your body gets used to that. I don't know. I feel like it's weird. It's like there's no purpose to your life. It starts messing with you.
A lot of people talk about this, and they say they take menial jobs. They do like barista fire, which is they become...
So then they all of a sudden friggin' start to take jobs. The shitty minimum wage jobs that minimum wage people don't need to do because they can't afford it.
With health insurance. Like Starbucks, they give you health insurance. Or they do like charitable things. Like they housing... what was it? I don't know, I've never done it before, so that's terrible. Houses for Humanity. Habitat for Humanity. Shit, I got that wrong. 2 beers in, maybe 3 drinks. So people do that. They find purpose in giving to others because now they're free. So there's possibilities there. I guess people don't recognize the possibilities because they're so set in an idea of what their life will be.
Being active will help you keep doing it.
Yeah, and the reverse side of this, which is exactly the same, is that the people who are going miserly into fire and not enjoying the work that they have now, where will you
feel once they retire?
Yeah, what will you do that will be enjoyable? Like if you didn't find enjoyment in the previous 10 or 20 years of employment, what the hell were you doing? Like you don't enjoy your coworkers? Like how do you not enjoy people?
And they're not going to enjoy the money after the fact.
Yeah, because they don't have anybody to spend it with.
They're going to still refuse to pay it. Yeah, exactly.
They don't have family.
This is weird.
A lot of people choosing not to have kids because they want to save their money. It's like that's... After having kids, I think that's foolish. Like that's dumb. Like kids repay you in like laughter and happiness and so much enjoyment that costs nothing.
I hate my kids.
You what?
I said I hate my kids. I don't have kids.
Plural.
By the time this episode drops, who knows?
Yeah, we might have. Yeah, you might actually have plural.
Months. We're in the range.
You're gonna have twins. Each kid costs a Lamborghini. That's what I am told. Could have had.
You don't have a Lamborghini, do you?
Yeah, I could have had 2, I guess, in 10 years.
Listen, we gotta wrap it up.
Yeah,
I gotta pee.
We understand the dilemmas of the human body. So I'm gonna find my little Zion, Zewataneo, little freedom.
Were you trying to say it, but you got too close to the damn camera? Back up from the camera.
I got excited. A little beach somewhere.
Do you think you would enjoy the beach?
No, I don't. I hear people like... People say they've made millions.
The beach of your future.
Yeah, the
Zewataneo. You make millions, you find your beach. Yeah, your Zewataneo. But it's not necessarily that beach.
How long can you spend on a beach? Well, nude beach would be good. Would be a plus. But how long can you, until the older people came in? And then, like, how long could you spend at a beach resort before you're like, that's enough alcohol for me, enough food. I can't take a cruise longer than a week because it just feels terrible.
How long can you enjoy vacation? Like, it's like a week and a half is max, isn't it?
Yeah, and then you want to go home. You want to feel the shower, the hot shower of your home, your bed, your dogs, your family, your normal life. I think most people love their normal life and they don't want to admit it.
To a degree. Like, how much can you endure freedom?
Yeah.
Like a week.
The routine is already built into 35 years of whatever I've been doing. So I don't know. Like a relationship takes what, half as long as you've been in the relationship to get over it? It's like if the routine is 40 years of routine, I'm going to be 60 by the time I break that routine out of my body before I readjust to whatever life will be. I don't know that I'll ever really get that routine out of me.
You might not. Brooks didn't get out of him, right?
He was here in all of us.
God damn. Folks, what we're talking about here is ridiculous shit.
Yeah.
Like, what would you do if I had $1 million?
Win the lottery.
Did I even say that?
Yeah. Retire early. Be financially independent. You go through the stages.
Would you though? Because you fucking
pay off that debt.
You don't know what to do if you pay off your debt.
Student debt.
Pay off everything.
Credit card debt.
Oh, that maybe.
Interest. APY.
Rate.
APR.
APY. APR. Folks, what I'm talking to you right now is about life debt.
Intergenerational wealth. If you can get there.
If you can get there.
This concludes our episode. Thank you for listening.
Damn. Thanks for listening, folks. We like you a lot. Just donate to them Patreons. Just friggin' throw money at whoever you want, because money doesn't matter.
You know, once you're high enough, you could just glide on down in your money glider and you'll be free.
Check out the money glider. Also, real quick, I think Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force said it best when his next door neighbor, Meatwad, won tickets to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I always sort of thought of you as a sort of thing that I could live next door to in accordance with state laws. When he was trying to get tickets from Meatwad. And I like to apply that to like an everyday thing. Anyway, folks, we like you. We like you a lot.
Good night.
Our socials.
Or day. Or morning.